I have been stuck in a bit of an echo chamber lately, and it really made me start thinking about the algorithms of the internet and how these things are absolutely impacting our health, the information we're exposed to, the mindset we're put in, and everything in between. I'm Lila. This is the Virtual Natural Healing Clinic, where we are on a mission to help you find and claim your birthright to health and happiness. If you're dealing with something chronic or complex, if your moods aren't where you want them to be, if you have symptoms and you're not getting help, we can assist you, and I hope you check out the clinic down below. So the last couple weeks, I'm going to out myself right here. I have been a bit, I'm going to say, addicted to some doomsday videos. I've been watching a lot of videos on the economic crisis that is like bubbling up. And, you watch one video and then YouTube serves you all kinds of videos. So, I'm watching all these videos about how we're at the end of late stage capitalism and AI is about to just disrupt us in the most insane way, and how all these companies are rushing to efficiency and putting so many workers out of the job that there's nobody left to buy their products. And I don't know if I want to see the world burn or why I find these videos so absolutely fascinating, but they absolutely captivate me. And so I realized as I've been kind of watching more and more of these videos these last couple weeks, had a couple road trips and definitely used the time to binge my doomsday videos, as I call it. More and more of these things are getting put in my YouTube feed. And now my YouTube feed is purely economical videos with doomsday outlooks, right? And so this is the reality that I am now immersed in. And it's so easy to get caught up in it. And it's so easy to think that that is the truth and that we are, a hop, skip, and a jump away from just total economic collapse. And while we might be, I don't know, and neither would any of those YouTubers, the thing is, if we keep feeding ourselves that information, that becomes our reality. That becomes that which we are viewing everything else through, which is inherently dangerous. And I had this moment as I was driving around today, and I watched, I was driving around running some errands, and I watched a guy in front of me at Natural Grocers buy 3 bottles of supplements, and it was $70, and they weren't good supplements. I wish I should have slid in my cart, but I was thinking, okay, well, he has money to throw around on supplements. And then, I'm driving back to my apartment complex, and they're building a brand new Lexus dealership, less than a quarter mile away. And I'm like, okay, well, if Lexus is building dealerships, people have money to spend. That's not economic collapse. And I realized that there's a stark difference between the realities of the world and what's going on YouTube. And okay, yes, this is a health and wellness channel. So what does this have to do with your health and wellness? Well, it has everything to do with your health and wellness, because our mindset and our outlook is part of our health and our happiness. And what's happening is people are getting sucked into these echo chambers on health and wellness topics. So if all of your feed is, you need to take this one supplement, it's going to fix all your problems, or you need to eat this one diet, be it keto or carnivore or vegan or vegetarianism, and it's going to fix all your problems, that becomes your new reality. That becomes the truth that you think is truth because you see so many people talking about it. But what's really happening is you are stuck in an echo chamber, and that echo chamber does not mirror reality in any way, shape, or form. I can start watching videos of somebody doing the carnivore diet, and I'm going to keep getting fed videos and reels and content of people doing the carnivore diet. And because this skews my perception so much, when 80% of the content I see is of the carnivore diet, I think that this diet is 80% relevant to my life and the world and everyone in it, when in reality, it's a very small subset of people that are engaging in this diet. So this really skews the perception of what's truth, what's working, what's not working, what people are doing. It doesn't give you a actual snapshot or reflection of reality. The algorithm skews it, and it keeps feeding things that it knows you want to see or hear or watch. And when it does that, you are stuck in the echo chamber. I heard, this is off topic, but there's statistics out there that like the more attractive people have bigger followings, and we see them more in our social media feeds and stuff. And when you lived in a community and you saw the 200 people you'd see every day, that maybe 5% of them were like outliers on the beauty standard, and were like significantly better looking by whatever standard than most people in the community, and that most people fall into this like, 80% of people are just average looking. But because we see so many people that are in this like 5% category online, because we are disproportionately shown these people because they get more popularity and blah, 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 that we think that's reflective of the reality of the world, when really actually we're just seeing a small subset of people that happen to get popularity in this context, but it doesn't actually mirror the realities of the attractiveness levels of people in our day-to-day lives. So we think, because we see this, that we aren't attractive enough, and that we start comparing ourselves to this very small percentage, when in reality most people look like us and fall into this mid-range of attractiveness. So that's just another really good example of how the echo chamber skews things. And so back to myself, I really caught myself today and thought, I need to be careful, because this can skew my perceptions. This is enough to say, I'm not going to work my job. I'm not going to put myself out there on YouTube. I'm not going to try and build a business because everything is doom and gloom, when in reality, like, I can do anything I set my mind to. And that reality is not the reality of being an in-person human in the world. And I think that that's just so easy to forget these days, that the internet is not real life. And those Doomsday videos, they're not real life, because I can go walk a quarter mile to a gorgeous park and stare at trees, and there's nothing doomsday about that. And so the internet and the digital world and the reality is just so different. And I think that's so important, as we are in this influencer age. We are in this health model age of wellness influencers and TikTok influencers and trends, that these things are not reality. And just because a lot of people spew them doesn't mean that they work, doesn't mean that they will work for you. It doesn't mean that that's your path or that's your answer. And we really have to be so discerning of the information and the things that we are being shown, because it's out of our control. And the only goal in showing us these things is to keep our attention in a specific place for longer, because that's how you get ad revenue. That's how you make money. And these platforms are there to help make money. And it is absolutely imperative that we are aware of this when we are trying to be in control, when we are trying to be sovereign, and we are trying to take ownership of our health and our happiness. We have to know what we're up against. So this isn't to say go stick your head in the sand. This is to say go outside and look at that reality, the reality of what's actually in real life, not the internet, not the ether, not the social media space. That is not an accurate reflection of the world. And it's so easy to get a slanted view, or for something minor to look major because 70 people are commenting or contenting on it in your thread, and that's all you see. So if you're going to binge content, I hope it's mine. Just kidding. But I would like to hear from you guys and what you think and what your thoughts are and what is stuck in your echo chamber right now. If you go to your YouTube homepage, what are you continually getting fed that might be skewing your perceptions? I think this is such an important thing to be aware of. So leave me a comment, write me a message. Let's talk about it. I also invite you to like and subscribe, and I have a free mini health assessment if you're wondering where to go next on your health journey. It's a quick snapshot that gives you a high level overview of some of the trends that are popping up in your health. So take it. It's reviewed by real humans like me, and hopefully really informative and helpful. We also are building more free resources over on our website. We have a great newsletter, and I can't wait for you to join the party. Okay, I'm Lila. This is the Virtual Natural Healing Clinic, and we'll see you next time.